Hi guys, in this video I'll be sharing what I have in these plastic containers for my first and my third grader. This one belongs to my 10-year-old who is in the 6th grade. This is my 6-year-old and this is my 8-year-old. For the longest while, I would just buy one set of curriculum and then as much as possible try to use the same thing with them. I would have to supplement sometimes, swap out little things here and there. And that was working for the longest while, but more and more I've been having to make, more and more changes, more so to accommodate for my 8-year-old. And as I go through, that would, I can explain that a little bit more. So I keep their planners on top here because if it's not here, out of sight, out of mind, and I would totally forget to, to record their stuff. I do want to say that this is what I have planned out for the year. It doesn't mean that I will get every single thing done, but this is what I would hope to get done this year. I do tend to focus on the language arts, their Bible studies, and their math. And then for science and social study, science and the social studies subject, I would, whether it's use YouTube videos, have them have like individually assigned books, and then we would discuss on it, play little games, and then later on in the year, I have some books there that I will be trying to pull some science projects from for us to kind of do some of that. And, that's kind of like how I try to make it, all work right now. All right, so in their planner at the front, I keep a blank sheet for the attendance records only because I will forget to put a copy in there if I don't. So I take a copy of the one that I have in there at the end of the year, and I'll just take this one out and put it in there. And then they have the books that they've read. They record it in here. My eldest and my third grader, they record theirs, and I help my 6-year-old write in hers. And then to help with keeping up with recording their stuff, since they were younger, I always tell them to write the dates on everything. So even if I miss a couple of days, I will just go back into their workbooks or whatever worksheets or whatever and try to fill that in. That is just the system that I'm using now until I find something that might work better. But it works well enough, so that's what I do to keep up with their records. In their drawers, the top drawer, I have their Bible coloring pages. Now we don't use this as much anymore for Bible studies, but I do have it in here just in case we decide to use it. On a Friday we have much lighter school so that I can get some other things done, especially that's like our hair day where I take down their hair, wash, condition, braid. That's a job all in itself. So on that day, we might do like brain quest or something online, like a free online program, or just play some games, just really light school on a Friday. Now my first grader, she is finished with this brain quest book already. So I just put this second grade book that I had there that she is able to do and have started. So that's what she's going to be using. And that's in their top drawer. I just kept that in there because I still have books from last school term that I haven't, destroyed or put aside still. So I don't want to get stuff mixed up. And then for my third grader, it's the same thing, Brain Quest and her coloring pages book. All right, so for geography, my main goal is for us to get through the DK workbooks, first, second, and the third grade. And if we have time at the end of the school term, we might start with this book. Now, my third grader, she did start that book before, and so she has done a couple of the exercises. However, we had to stop, but hopefully we will get back to it at some other time. And she has done these books before, but for her, it is going to be useful to go through and do all of them again. So that is what we are doing. So both of them are doing first, second, and third in the DK workbooks. For language arts, I am using first language lessons as their main language arts. I do a lesson in the level 1 for my first grader, but I have my third grader sitting in as a means of review. So that's going to help her with the areas that she might need review with. And then I do a a lesson in the level 2. When we have covered, so I have to move really slow with the language arts. Once we have covered a term, like a topic in the first language lessons, I've been using these instructional fair grammar books, and I will find the topic area and I will copy the simple exercises that it have in here and have both of them do it, because she's able to complete it as well. So I have the second and the third grade in these books, and then I have these versions as well. So I will just do those, and just to help them to kind of retain what they learned in the first language lessons. So grammar, I've been really taking my time with both of them with their grammar. So in their language arts box, I have some sheets that they did last week. Their story writing. So every week they have to write a story. This is I'll get to my third grader. That's a story writing. They have Bible writing as well. And now writing rhetoric. I will get started with this later on in the school year, but we have not started this as yet. Right now they're just doing story writing and their Bible story writing. It's more or less the same thing for my third grader. However, I have to take time. We take time and I do like some dictionary work with her. All right, so now we know that our 8-year-old, one of the things that she has is dyslexia, and we are currently navigating like how to make changes to better accommodate her and to help her, with her studies. So one of the things that I've been doing with her really slowly is some dictionary work. And if she comes upon a word that is difficult for her to pronounce, because even though she can read, if it's a new word or it's a word with a lot of syllables, it's quite a struggle to break down those words. So I would show her how to find a word in the dictionary, and then we would focus on the spelled out sound of the word, and then have her just that one word that she's been having problems with. We won't be going through and just finding words to do. So say she was reading something and she could not pronounce average, then we would, as much as possible, get her dictionary, let her look for the word average, and then look at the spelled out sound of the word and have her say that. That's what I focus on with her, as slow as we need to. So that is grammar, and then for her, spelling. For my youngest, we don't do a lot of like structured spelling right now, but she spells pretty well for where she's at. So that is the language arts. For reading. Now, for reading, I am probably going to have to take a break from All About Reading. Now, I was attempting to continue with All About Reading level 1, because I'm almost finished with level 1 with my youngest. I was on level 2 with my third grader. However, I think that I will be taking a break from that, because I do own it, so we can always go back to it. And we are going to be doing a workbook for dyslexics. Now, I did start it before. However, I had to stop and go back over the instructions, because the thing with this book is that it says that you have, not only is it very teacher intensive, is that you can't give this to her as simple as it seems. You can't just give it to her and have her do it. Like, I have to sit down and make sure, sit down with her and go through it really, really slowly. Now, this does say age 13 plus, but I will be using this most likely with both my 6 and my 8-year-old really slowly. And depending on, after we get to a certain point, I think I would try to find a way to gauge if I see any improvements using this and decide if we should go back to All About Reading. Now they really like that All About Reading program, especially the readers. So I still have them use the readers if they need to or if they want to, because they like the stories in the All About Reading readers. But for reading, this is what I will be using with both of them for a while. What I was doing before was going between All About Reading, and I have these Trinidad readers that I have been using for forever. So I was going back and forth between those two, but I will be taking a break from that totally and just focusing on doing this consistently for a while, just to see if it really can help my 8-year-old. So that is the language arts. For science, we just have the DK workbooks again, second and third. Well, this one for my first grader, we just have the second grade science workbook for right now. That's it. Later on in the year, I hope to take some science projects from these two, and we would work through some of that. In addition to the DK workbooks, what I have them do is I would assign these to them: my very important world and very important things. I have very important animals there as well, but these two is what they're using right now, and I have them alternate. And what I will do is I would give them a section, like for the week, one of them will have to read like the big wide world, and they would read through that section. And then on a Friday, that's one of the things that we will just sit down and read through it together, and then just have discussions on that topic area. So one of them will be assigned a section in that book, and then the other one would be assigned a section in this book. And that's another thing that we do for science, in addition to watching some YouTube videos as well, like science projects and stuff like that. But later on in the year, I hope to try some of those like projects in those books. Not a lot, just a few of them. Another way I get some science is that when they have to pick their individual reading books for the week, they have to pick at least one non-fiction book, and then they can pick like 2 fictional books, and sometimes I might alternate that, have them do 2 non-fictional and 1 fictional. So these Southwestern books they have been using, they're really simple readers, so that works pretty well for both my first and my third grader. All right, so another thing that they're doing is typing, and now we've been doing that for a while, but my goal is eventually to have my third grader really start incorporating typing a lot more than writing. But that probably will not come right now until she gets a little bit better with using the typing. My goal is for them to do 20 minutes typing every day, but that doesn't always work out like that. Probably we might get 20 minutes done 2 or 3 times for the week. But I'm hoping that as time goes on, probably, in a year or so, she will get better with the typing. But they all do it so that she can, do a lot less, writing in the notebook, and probably, incorporate more of the typing together with probably a little bit of Grammarly, just to kind of take some of the pressure off with off of her with regards to writing. That's something that, based on research, I learned that might be helpful. So it's something that I would be hoping to work on, for later on. All right, so another thing that I've been doing with my third grader is these 50 grade states book. Now, this might be a simple book but for her with dyslexia, it is challenging for her. And what I am, realizing with her is that even if we go through something, even if she might understand it in, at the time that we're doing it, the problem is being able to retain that information. And as I said, I am navigating through this. I I'm learning as I go. But one thing that we've been doing, and it has been working at least right now, is very slowly, because we've done this before, but it's trying to find little things that she can remember and help build up her confidence, so that she would be, have that confidence to attack other things, right? So anyway, so I had to start with California so that she starts with where she's at. And she would just go through the facts and just memorize, the capital, the nickname of the state, the bird, the flower. And now she can actually say all of the facts for California, for Nevada, and for Arizona. And what I do is that when she is finished with California, I wouldn't just have her move to Nevada. She would have to tell me all the facts for, well, actually this, I have her go through it with her sister, so they kind of do that together. And once in a while I will kind of have her say it to me just to see if it is she's remembering it. And her face really does light up with something so simple, the fact that she can remember all of the facts, right? So anyway, so when she's doing California, when she's finished with California, then I would have her do California and Nevada, so she has to remember the facts for both of these. And then so now she knows she has to recite all of the facts for California, Nevada, and Arizona. And I will say for a third time, I am navigating this. I'm trying to find little ways that she can remember stuff, anything that she can remember, because my goal is to give her confidence that she can do it. And that's just my goal. So anyway, so that's something that we're doing for social studies with her. And then for math, we have Matthew C. My first grader is doing alpha. She is, I think, on lesson 17, and we are doing time and money. I end up buying them individual books so that I no longer have to copy, because I need to find ways to simplify things for my life. And then I have just some random workbooks in here, specifically for her, for times when I need both of them to work together, but I need to take more time with her so that I have something for her to do. If she's not drawing on the board out there, I can just, just give her one of these worksheets to do. But those are not, we don't use those a lot, because I do have this one that I just assigned to her there. And then for my third grader, we have Beta. She is on, I believe, is lesson 16. She just finished lesson 16 in Beta. And because we have to move, math you see, works for her. We just take our time with it, but it does help her to grab the concepts. So we are just moving really slowly through the math you see. And then she has time and money as well. Once in a while, we still do play the time and money game, but it's not as much as we used to before. All right, so that's more or less it. As I said, we would be switching to this workbook for dyslexics, and I'll be doing this with both my first and my third grader, just to make it easier on myself. And if I need to, I will just come back to the All About Reading program. I just want to see if doing something specific for dyslexia, if that is going to be helpful, for her. So we are going to be doing this now. What I probably might do is have her read a specific text now, and then after a couple of months, have her read the same thing, and just see if I notice any improvements. I'll probably tape it and see if I can tell the difference. As I said, I am navigating through this. I am learning as I go. I have been watching a lot of videos from Made by Dyslexia, and on YouTube. Also, I've been doing a lot of research on Pinterest, and just listening and trying to learn how it is I can best navigate to help her along this journey, so that she can get the confidence that she needs to know that she can do the same thing. She might just need to, I and her, we will just have to make adjustments, but she can do it. But it's definitely a learning journey, and yeah. So anyway, if there's anything that that I shared that you would like to ask about, you can just ask any question in the comment section below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.